This week's NXT UK, folks, was a really good show. It was a really good episode with some fun developments. So we got Nina Samuels becoming Xia Brookside's personal assistant for 1 month. And then we got Tyler Bate picking up a victory over Bailey Matthews and what was a great match. I'm assuming they're building him up for something, but I'm interested to see what's next for Tyler Bate. I really am. So then we got Aoife Valkyrie, who is also being built up to be, to be in the title picture. So I'm guessing after we get Miku Satomura versus Kaylee Ray, we're going to be getting Aoife Valkyrie versus Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's Championship. That's where I'm thinking WWE is going. So then we got Pretty Deadly. We got the new NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Pretty Deadly. And we got much more to go over, folks, right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brendan Ingram, here live with your February the 25th, 2021 NXT UK review. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications. And also follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling for the latest WWE and AEW news and pro wrestling news. Also, follow me on Twitch if you want to see more content on Twitch. Please follow me on there. And we're going to go ahead and get to it here. So, NXT UK opens up with a hype package for the match between Gallus and Pretty Deadly for the NXT UK Tag Team Champions. We were welcomed to the show by the broadcast team of Andy Shepherd and Nigel McGuinness. Xia Brookside made her entrance while a highlight, which Xia Brookside is a woman that I might now have a crush on. Now, as you can see, Xia Brookside is on the right side of your screen. I gave her a new updated look, and I actually tweeted it out and mentioned her name on it, on the tweet. So I hope she sees it. I hope she likes it. I hope she really loves it. But anyways, Xia Brookside made her entrance while a highlight package recapped her rivalry with Nina Samuels and the stipulation that the loser must become the winner's assistant for 1 month. Samuels made her entrance with her bagging handler, Henry. So we got Xia Brookside versus Nina Samuels. Enraged Brookside started on the front foot with the action on the outside, and Brookside still in control. Samuels kicked Brookside into her low gag to gain the upper hand. Samuels moved smoothly between submissions while trash-talking Brookside. Henry refused to give Samuels her loaded handbag. She eventually forced it off him and returned to the ring. Samuels went to hit Brookside with the bag, but missed. Brookside punted the bag out of Samuels' hands and rolled her up for the win. Now, this was a nice quick opening match. They moved in and out of the ring a lot, which kept things fresh. The stipulation was very juvenile, did help to grow interest in the match. What they were fighting for was silly, but at least they were fighting for something. I have no idea why Henry turned his back on Samuels, but this was the first time he was called by his name. So, no effort has been made to help us understand his, I guess, understand him, or his physical, or his physique, I don't know. Brookside winning here was defiantly for the best, as Samuels will play a role in disgruntled servant well. Folks, I'm going to give you my real thoughts on this show at the end of the review, so be prepared. You're gonna love my thoughts on this show. You really are. At the end of the review, you're gonna love my real thoughts on this show. My real thoughts on the show will be reviewed after this NXT UK review. So we saw a Magnet for Trent Seven running in the snow with his dogs and talking about how his plant diet and positive mental attitude was guiding him to cut the weight to beat Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight Championship. Ilja Dragunov was being interviewed backstage when Sam Gradwell called him a baby and a yogurt and challenged him to a match. Dragunov accepted. William Regal's son, Bailey Matthews, was shown in the ring when Tyler Bate made his entrance. So we got Bailey Matthews versus Tyler Bate. So Matthews took Bate down with the wrist lock. He continued to hold on to the wrist despite Bate hitting him with a monkey flip. Matthews held Bate in the leg scissors, while the broadcast team revealed he had trained with Dave Taylor, choosing to omit the fact that he is Ringo's son. Matthews had the better of this match. He had the better of this match. He had the better of this match, displaying a range of classic grappling and submissions until Bate hit a suplex in the standing shooting star press. Bate hit the Tyler drive for the win. I almost didn't know what I was going to say. That's why I had stopped for a few minutes. I almost couldn't remember. So, Bates picked up the win over Bailey Matthews. This was a really good showing for Matthews, who I know had signed, but didn't think we'd see this soon. Now, folks, you can certainly tell he's Ringo's son with his in-ring work and how he carries himself. It is interesting that the commentators hyped up his training and ability, but choose not to mention that he was Ringo's son. This was a proper old school British wrestling match that would have sat nicely on World of Sport. It certainly made me want to see more of Matthews. This was also a decent victory for Bate, as he had been on the receiving end on Onslaught for most of the match. So we got a Magnet played for an unnamed wrestler to see what his NXT UK name will be. So Joseph Connors was about to give an interview when Piper Niven interrupted him. Niven slapped him when he called her common, leading Jenny to attack her when Sid Sikla refused. Niven's demand for a handicap match against Connors and Jenny. She grabbed the nearby Jack Stars and asked for a tag match. Aoife Valkyrie. This is who I was waiting to mention. One of my NXT UK female talents on that roster. Aoife Valkyrie made her entrance with Lana Austin already in the ring. So, we got Lana Austin versus Aoife Valkyrie. Valkyrie's early agile offense put her in control in the early going of the match. So, she scored a close to count from a neck breaker. Valkyrie went for a kick but pulled away when Austin put her hands up. Austin took advantage and nearly put Valkyrie away with a roll-up. Valkyrie hit the top rope, diving split leg drop for the victory. And that was it. So, match simply stood to continue Valkyrie's winning streak with Austin acting as cannon folder. It would be interesting to see how far they go with this particular streak and who will break it. Now, I enjoy watching Valkyrie. I really do. I think she will be the next challenger for Kaylee Ray's NXT UK Women's Championship. That's if Kaylee Ray defeats Miku Satomura, of course. We don't know. Miku Satomura may be the new NXT UK Women's Champion. We have to find out in 2 weeks. So, Tyler Bate versus Dave Mastiff was announced for 2 weeks' time. The mixed tag team match between Jenny and Joseph Connors and Piper Niven and Jack Stars was also announced for then. Bate will be on Supernova Sessions next week. Xia Brookside left the arena, followed by Bed Raglet Samuels struggling with her bags. The comedy begins. I actually replied to that. I saw that tweet. I actually replied to it. I actually was glad that Xia Brookside got her win. She's also one of my favorite NXT UK female talents. Anyways, Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan, who we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen these two as a tag team in a long time, man. We haven't seen what they can do in the ring yet, but hopefully soon we will. Because they revealed that they would be returning to tag action next week. And they were focusing on getting a tag title shot. So hopefully next week we'll get to see what Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan could do as a team. Hopefully we'll see what they get to do as a team. I imagine they work good as a team. They probably do so well. They probably do absolutely fantastic as a team. One thing's for certain. They are definitely not Flat Webster Morgan. They're definitely not Flash Webster Morgan or Mark Andrews. They're not those guys. That's for sure. That is for damn sure. So, we see a hype package for next week's NXT UK Women's Championship match between Kaylee Ray and Miku Satomura, which is what I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Pretty Deadly made their entrance ahead of their opportunity at the tag titles. The champions, Gallus, entered the BT Sports studio. BT Sports Studio is basically NXT UK. So, we got Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang versus Pretty Deadly, Sam Stoker and Luis Holy, for the NXT UK Tag Team Champions. So we got the first 5 minutes of this match centered around frequent tags from both teams to prevent either from gaining the upper hand. Now, Coffey attempts to enter the ring as Holly and Stalker double teamed Wolfgang. With the referee distracted, Holly sent Wolfgang into the ring post on the outside. I was about to say apron. Almost did though. Now, Pretty Deadly then utilized quick tags to wear down Wolfgang in their corner, despite the efforts of Stoker and Holly. Wolfgang finally made the hot tag to Coffee. Coffee hit a number of big moves on first Holly and then Stoker. Once the latter had tagged in with Wolfgang recovering on the outside, Pretty Deadly hit a double team move on Coffee for a close 2 count. Now, Coffee chokeslammed Stoker on the ring apron while Wolfgang hit a huge spear on Holly in the ring, but this only scored a 2 count. Stoker slapped Wolfgang, who chased him out of the ring. Holly shoulder charged Wolfgang over the barricade. Holly returned to the ring with the tag titles and chucked one to Stoker. The referee took one title but left the other on the mat. With the referee distracted by one title, Stoker DDT'd Coffee onto the other title. Pretty Deadly hit split milk on Coffee to win the tag team gold. This was a very solid tag team match. This was a very solid tag team match. No gimmicks, just good old-fashioned wrestling. Pretty Deadly won the titles after they came out on top in the number 1 contenders match, of course. And there are a few people on social media that are happy that it came to fruition. Now, to some people, Pretty Deadly are a much more interesting tag team than Gallus. To some other people, Gallus are more of an interesting tag team than Pretty Deadly. Now, they have bags of charisma and are decent in the ring and suit bending the rules. Now, as they did a lot to win this match, the opening did drag a bit as it was mainly quick tags and neither team were on top. But when it got going, it was a lot of fun. It built nicely into full chaos and plenty of near falls. The only slightly confusing thing was Pretty Deadly defiantly worked heel, but were portrayed as the good guys going into the match. Either way, after having Gallus as tag team champions for more than a year, it's nice to have new tag team champions. There's a lot of teams in the tag division, and most people would personally like to see Pretty Deadly defend the tag titles regularly and build their reputation. Now, here are my real thoughts on this week's NXT UK before we end this. This was a really, really good episode with some really fun developments. Now, I still would have wanted Xia versus Nina to be a match where the log gag was legal. Now, I like that it came to play in the end. Xia winning is great. She'll get to make Nina do all sorts of mental labor. But I'm thinking as soon as the month is up, Nina attacks Xia, we get their real blow off where maybe it is a no disqualification and the log gag can be a weapon. Now, Aoife Valkyrie has a great match. She had a really good match with Lana Austin, but naturally Aoife wins because she is still on the long build to challenging for the title. That's what I think of that. Now, Kaylee Ray versus Miku Satomura feels like it could go either way, given what little build we've got for it. But Aofi could easily work as a contender to either one. Now, 7. Trent Seven had a good variant. I'm hoping we're close to his return as a cruiserweight. 7 probably needs one match before facing Devlin to show us what cruiserweight Trent Seven even looks like in the ring. And then we got a great match out of Devlin versus 7 for a special spring to summer episode. According to sources, you could easily Google NXT TakeOver Dublin. It's still planned for this year, since it couldn't happen last year. But for June, this is a ways off, so I would think we get Devlin versus 7 as a holdover. We also got a good bit from Dragunov and Gradwell, and that match will be a lot of fun. Of course, we all know that Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams are back in the tag division. I just said that not too long ago. But you know what? Me personally, I'm thinking as soon as they lose, Kenny snaps and turns on Amir to give us their feud. Tyler Bate and Bailey Matthews had a really good match, and it both highlights Matthews' skill and pushes the angle that Bate is still working things out for himself. Bate versus Mastiff is going to be a great stuff. As well, Supernova Sessions with Bate as the guest. But I think I'd say last time, I'm hoping this circles back to the reunion of Bate and 7 as a team. And it could all work. It could all work out. Because after a great tag match, Pretty Deadly comes out on top, as clear heels will freshen things up as they take on some great face teams and possibly be the ones to take on the reunited Mustache Mountain for a big event. So folks, that's going to do it for your February the 25th, 2021 NXT UK review. If you enjoyed this review, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. That is going to be all. That's all I got. I have no NXT UK news, of course. So before I get out of here, I got a few things to tell you all. So I'm gonna be live on YouTube for SmackDown tonight. So be sure you join my live chat and hang out with me while I watch SmackDown while I'm live on YouTube. And then my SmackDown review will be live after that. So right now, what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to stream some Call of Duty for a bit, for a couple of hours. So meet me there. I'm going to go ahead and get the thumbnail done. I'm going to go ahead and get my SmackDown thumbnails done so I can go ahead and go live on Call of Duty. And then I may have an England Wrestling News video dropping tomorrow. I'm going to look and see. I'm going to look and see what news we got going on. I'm going to check on the latest news and see what's happening, what news we got going on. And next week, I promise, I will go live for my Raw review next week. I will be returning. England Wrestling News will be back with this Raw review next week. We'll be back to normal schedule. Of course, next week, I'll be live my NXT review and my SmackDown review, which my Monday Night Raw review will be Monday night. My NXT review will be Wednesday night, and my SmackDown review will be Friday night, as always. Every week. And of course, Monday we'll be back to streaming on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Because Saturday and Sunday I'm going to be streaming on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Continuing to show you all every Dragon Ball FighterZ combos that they can do. So, folks, thank you for joining me for my NXT UK review. I really appreciate it, man. Peace. I'm getting out of here. See you on the Call of Duty stream. Peace. Oh, and also see you on my SmackDown review tonight. And see you on my WWE SmackDown live stream. That'll be before the review though. But see you later, folks.